Hey there, Live on Purpose family. I'm coming to you live from the home office today. I'm here with my puppies and thinking about you. This is a hard thing for parents to do. I promise it will work. It's detaching from the outcomes. I'll give you some tips about that. I'm live today because I want to catch you in time to invite you to join me. drpauljenkins.com/stop yelling. I will be there live this week, and I hope to have you in the room with me. I will be answering questions. We're going to get into how to get your kids to listen without yelling. Are you ready for some more peace in your home, more confidence as a parent? Jump on, okay? drpauljenkins.com/stop yelling. What does it mean to detach from the outcomes? Here's the bottom line. Somebody has to be attached to the outcomes. And if it's you, it's not your kids. To get kids thinking, we have to have them be attached to the outcomes, not us. Now, this is the hardest thing to do for parents, because what if I told you over and over and over again here on the channel, your job is, yeah, do you know? To love them no matter what. And even if, when you love your kids, you're setting yourself up for some pain. And I apologize for that, but that's the reality of the situation. When you love your kids, you are setting yourself up for some pain. It's the hardest thing in the world to watch someone you love make decisions or choices that are probably going to cause them misery. And so that's why it's so hard to do. When we detach from the outcomes, there's an interesting psychological thing that happens. The energy shifts so that now our kids get to decide if they want to be detached from the outcomes. About 4 years ago, I launched a video called How to Get Your Kids to Listen Without Yelling. This is why I keep doing this particular seminar live, the Stop Yelling seminar, drpauljenkins.com/stop yelling. I'm going to be there this Friday. I don't know when you're watching this video. If you're catching me live, you're in time, so go jump in. If you're not, we've got recorded versions, so register either way. And here's what I've found. Our attachment as a parent creates an energy. So check it out. When you ask your kids to do something, and you really, really, really hope that they do it, what are you going to do? You're going to remind them. Now, we call it reminding. They call it nagging, riding me, being on my case. And you get resistance immediately. One of the processes that I teach in our parent coaching is to give them a task they can handle. That's step one. Step two, hope that they blow it. Now, this surprises parents. This is what I'm talking about. Detach from the outcomes. This is the hardest thing that I ask parents to do. You have to detach from the outcomes. Check it out. Here's the energy. You give your kid a task, and then you back off. And you're smiling, okay? When parents are smiling, kids are thinking. Remember that. Write that in your notes somewhere. When parents are smiling, kids are thinking. And I'm smiling because it doesn't matter to me. Either way is fine with me. In that video I was referencing about how to get your kids to listen without yelling, I suggest that you give your kids two options, two choices, basically. And you're okay with both of them. That's detaching from the outcome. That's the part that most people have problems with, because you give your kids two options and really you're hoping that they pick your favorite, right? The one that you want them to do. Well, with your attachment to that, kids get this sense that they're not in control of their life. They don't want anybody telling them what to do, especially as they get into their teenage years. So detachment from the outcome is just like, I'm good either way. You can do this or you can do that. Now, the key behind that is that you control one of those choices, or at least the consequences for it. That becomes the default. So that if they pick that, you've got it. You've got consequences that don't require cooperation, that you're ready to roll with, and you're detached and you're smiling. See, when you're detached from the outcome, it's like, either way. Now your kid is in a position where she has to decide, oh, am I okay with this? That's exactly what we want. We want our kids to think, not fight. Put that in your notes too. Think, not fight. Every interaction that we have with our kids is going to invite them to do one or the other. Now, Cajun, you're asking, can I give a specific example? Yeah, let's talk through an example of that. I'll use an example of little kids. Okay, one of the things that we want little kids to do is be more responsible for their belongings, for their toys, for example. So give them a choice. Hey, would you like to pick up your toys? Or would you prefer that I pick up your toys? Either way is fine with me. Smiling. Okay, now you might be thinking, wait a minute, I don't want to be in a position where I'm picking up my kids' toys. I always like to throw in this phrase too. Any questions? And when I say any questions and I pop my eyebrows up just a little, and I got a little lilt to my voice and I'm smiling, my kids are thinking, oh, wait, what does he know that we don't know? See, I'm detached from the outcomes. I'm like, either you pick them up yourself or I'll pick them up for you. Either way is just fine with me. Right? Now, my child has to decide, wait, am I okay with this? And she doesn't know what's going to happen, right? If she asks me a question, well, what's going to happen if you pick them up? Then I'll answer, oh, well, if I pick them up, you don't have to worry about picking them up today or later. See, because if I pick them up, I put them away in a place where they're not going to make a mess again. I secure them somewhere. See, I use this as a strategy to help kids think, not fight. That's just an example. Another example, let's take a teenager example of being detached from the outcomes. Sweetie, curfew is at 10. Any questions? Okay, now I'm not using the two choices example here, but basically it's built in. Okay, you can come home on time or you can come home after curfew. Either way is fine with me. See, detachment from the outcome. Now, my daughter is probably thinking, wait a minute, Dad really wants me home by curfew, so what's going on here? What am I missing? You see, my detachment from the outcome gets her to think, not fight. And then there are consequences. Look, all your kids really need to know, every choice has a consequence. The better my choices, the better my consequences. So if I can get her to think, not fight, then she's going to think through, okay, which consequences do I prefer? If I come home on time, I get freedom and privileges and access to the vehicle. If I come home late, Dad's probably not going to allow access to the vehicle for a while. Do you see? And I'm smiling. I'm like, I'm okay either way. You decide what's going to work best for you. Do you see it? Detachment from the outcomes. It's the hardest thing I ask parents to do. When you're detached from the outcomes, you're in a position of power. And we're inviting our kids to think, not fight. When you're too attached to the outcomes, they'll fight with you over the outcomes because usually they control those. You with me on that? We're going to get into this in more detail. Come to the live webinar, will you? Will you join me there? drpauljenkins.com and then a /stop yelling. Put that all on one line. I just couldn't fit it all on one line with my Sharpie. Put it all on one line. drpauljenkins.com /stop yelling. I will be there live. We're going to spend an hour getting into how to get your kids to listen without yelling. Are you ready for some more peace in your home, to be more confident as a parent? Let's transform that family culture to one where Mom, Dad, you guys are smiling. You're smiling, and when parents are smiling, kids are thinking. We want them to think, not fight. You with me? I hope you'll join me. Remember, drpauljenkins.com /stop yelling. Put that all on one line, all one word. You know the routine. I'll put it in the link too for when this video goes up as a recording. Hey, you guys rock. Keep up the good work. We need lots of positive parenting going on in this planet. And You're on the front. You're on the front lines for that. Thank you for all that you do. Love you guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.